Hello, welcome back to SwitchTop. Today, we're counting down the top 10 perfect 10 out of 10 JRPGs on Nintendo Switch. I've spent hundreds of hours with each of these, and I'm breaking down what makes them essential without spoiling anything. So let's jump right into number 10. Fire Emblem Three Houses completely transformed the series by adding a school life simulator on top of the tactical battles we all know and love. You play as a professor at a military academy where you pick one of three houses to lead, and this choice genuinely shapes your entire playthrough in massive ways. Between battles, you're walking around the monastery, building relationships with students, teaching classes to improve their skills, and making decisions that affect the story's direction. The tactical combat is grid-based and demands careful positioning because permadeath is real here. Every unit lost can be gone forever unless you're playing casual mode. The story starts as a typical school drama, but evolves into an epic war between nations with genuinely heartbreaking moments where former students face each other on opposite sides of the battlefield. Each house route offers a completely different perspective on the conflict, with unique missions and story revelations that make replaying absolutely worth it. The character writing is phenomenal. You'll genuinely care about these students and their fates.
Give up. Weak. Did you underestimate me?
Trails in the Sky is the beginning of one of gaming's most ambitious, connected RPG series, and it's all about taking things slow and methodical. You follow Estelle and Joshua, two young bracers who are essentially problem solvers for hire, traveling across the nation of Liberel, helping townspeople with various issues, while a larger conspiracy unfolds in the background. The combat uses a turn-based system on a grid, where positioning matters, and there's an orbment system that lets you customize magic spells by slotting different elemental quartz into your gear, giving you tons of flexibility in building your characters. What sets this game apart is the world building. Every NPC has dialogue that changes as the story progresses, and the game rewards you for talking to everyone and exploring every corner of each town. The pacing is deliberately slow, spending hours on seemingly small-town problems before the bigger plot kicks in, but this investment makes the payoff incredibly satisfying. The relationship between Estelle and Joshua develops beautifully throughout the adventure, and the cliffhanger ending will absolutely make you want to jump into the sequel immediately.
Thank you for Estelle.
Cheeky as ever. Monsters could be trouble.
Dragon Quest XI's is the ultimate traditional JRPG experience, delivering everything you expect from the genre, executed to absolute perfection. You play as a young man who discovers he's the reincarnation of an ancient hero, which immediately makes you a target, forcing you to go on the run while gathering allies and uncovering the truth about your destiny. The turn-based combat is streamlined and satisfying, with a great risk-reward system through the draconian quest options that let you add difficulty modifiers for better rewards. The world is gorgeous, with distinct regions ranging from lush forests to snowy mountains and desert kingdoms, each with their own cultures and problems to solve. Character progression uses a skill panel system where you unlock abilities and stat boosts, letting you customize each party member's development path. The story follows classic hero's journey beats, but executes them beautifully, with genuine emotional moments and a mid-game twist that completely changes the stakes. What really stands out is how refined everything feels, from the menu systems to the pacing to the boss encounters. It's clear this game was polished to perfection. Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D Remake keeps the classic turn-based JRPG foundation intact, while refining it with modern design that feels smooth and purposeful. Exploration remains a core focus, with a large overworld filled with towns, dungeons, secrets, and frequent encounters that encourage steady leveling and thoughtful progression, rather than rushing through fights. Combat is menu-driven and strategic, built around spells, abilities, and resource management, with improved balance, clearer UI, and quality of life features like better guidance and streamlined systems. The first game offers a solo hero journey centered on survival, gear upgrades, and careful planning. while the second expands into a full party system with distinct roles that add more tactical depth and variety in battles. The story follows the legacy of the legendary hero Erdrick, presenting a classic heroic fantasy narrative that grows richer through expanded cutscenes, character moments, and stronger world building. Sentinels Aegis Rim is one of the most unique JRPGs ever made, splitting itself between a visual novel adventure and real-time strategy battles with giant mechs. You play as 13 different high school students across multiple interweaving timelines, and the game constantly jumps between characters and time periods as you slowly piece together an incredibly complex sci-fi mystery involving time travel, alien invasions, and reality-bending twists. The adventure segments are pure visual novel, where you explore environments, talk to characters, and make choices that unlock new story branches. And you'll need to progress with multiple characters to advance the overall narrative. The combat sections are tower defense-style battles, where you command up to 6 Sentinels defending a terminal against waves of kaiju, using different mech types with unique abilities to create devastating combos. The story is deliberately confusing at first, feeding you fragments of information that don't make sense until much later, when everything clicks together in spectacular fashion.
Let's do this! Got him! That all you got?
What do I do?
Signatures from above.
Final Fantasy X/10-2 HD Remaster packages 2 complete games that represent Final Fantasy at both its most focused and most experimental. FF10 follows Tidus, a star athlete transported to the world of Spira, where he joins a summoner named Yuna on her pilgrimage to defeat Sin, a massive creature that periodically destroys civilization. The conditional turn-based combat system shows you upcoming turn order, letting you strategically swap party members mid-battle to exploit enemy weaknesses. And the sphere grid progression system gives you incredible freedom in developing characters along interconnected skill paths. The story deals with heavy themes like religion, sacrifice, and accepting mortality, building to an emotionally devastating conclusion that still hits hard decades later. The world of Spira feels cohesive and lived in, with its own culture, language, and history that you gradually uncover through exploration and NPC conversations. FF10-2 is a complete tonal shift, following Yuna 2 years later in a lighter adventure with mission-based structure and a job system that lets you change classes mid-battle, creating a fast-paced combat experience. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is an absolutely massive RPG that brings together elements from the previous games while telling its own epic story about soldiers from 2 warring nations trying to break free from an endless cycle of conflict. You control Noah and his party, exploring enormous open areas filled with side quests, rare monsters, and secrets, while battling in a real-time combat system that blends positioning, auto attacks, and special arts with perfect timing mechanics. The class system lets characters learn abilities from different roles, eventually letting you mix and match skills to create custom builds with incredible depth. What makes this game special is how it handles its themes of mortality and purpose. Every soldier has a 10-year lifespan from birth, and the game constantly questions what it means to truly live when your existence has been predetermined. The party chemistry is fantastic, with genuinely touching character moments and a romance subplot that feels earned rather than forced. The world is stunning, with varied biomes, each region feeling distinct and packed with landmarks to discover. And the day-night cycle affects which quests and enemies are available.
Whoa, visitor!
I'll draw them!
Smooth as always, Noah.
Tears of the Kingdom takes everything Breath of the Wild established and expands it in ways that seemed impossible, adding entirely new dimensions to exploration, both literally and mechanically. The core adventure follows Link as he investigates a mysterious sickness affecting Zelda and uncovers an ancient threat. But the real star is the physics-based building system that lets you fuse objects together to create vehicles, bridges, and complex contraptions limited only by your imagination. You're not just exploring Hyrule's surface anymore. The sky islands above and the depths below add massive new areas to discover, with completely different atmospheres and challenges. Combat feels more dynamic, with the ability to fuse weapons with materials to create unique combinations, and attaching objects to arrows creates tactical options that make every encounter feel creative. The shrines return with brilliant physics puzzles that often have multiple solutions, rewarding experimentation and creative thinking rather than single correct answers. Breath of the Wild completely revolutionized open-world game design by trusting players to explore freely from the moment you leave the tutorial area. You wake as Link with no memories, and from the Great Plateau, you can literally see the final boss in the distance and head straight there if you're skilled enough, though the intended path involves exploring Hyrule, recovering memories, and freeing the divine beasts from Ganon's control. The physics engine is the foundation of everything, creating emergent gameplay where fire spreads naturally, metal conducts electricity, and you can solve problems in countless ways the developers never explicitly programmed. Combat is deliberately challenging, with limited weapon durability forcing you to constantly adapt and use your environment tactically. And the stamina system makes climbing and exploration feel like puzzles themselves. Every corner of the map rewards curiosity with Korok seeds, shrines, or environmental storytelling through ruins that hint at Hyrule's past.
Rivali's Gale is now ready.
Persona 5 Royal delivers a deeply layered JRPG experience by combining strategic, turn-based combat with a life simulation system that constantly shapes your progression. Battles revolve around exploiting enemy weaknesses, chaining extra turns through the one more mechanic, and unleashing all-out attacks, making each encounter feel tactical rather than repetitive. The Persona system adds strong customization, allowing players to capture, fuse, and build personas with different skills to adapt to various combat situations. Outside dungeons, the game runs on a calendar structure where you balance school life, social activities, and relationships, with confidant bonds directly enhancing combat abilities and unlocking new mechanics. Exploration of palaces blends puzzle solving, stealth elements, and stylized dungeon design that keeps progression engaging and varied. The story follows a group of phantom thieves who enter cognitive worlds to confront corrupted desires and challenge injustice, delivering a character-driven narrative with strong themes of rebellion, identity, and personal growth.
I'll break them. That should do.
Persona! Sondrion! All enemies are down. Thank Violet!
And that's the list. From Fire Emblem Three Houses to Persona 5 Royal, every game here represents the pinnacle of JRPG design. The Switch has become the ultimate system for JRPG fans, and these 10 prove it. Which one is your personal 10 out of 10? Let me know in the comments, hit that like button, and subscribe for more JRPG content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.